Thank you for staying. Thank you for joining us on the News Belt. Let's get into our first story now. Senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, has warned that the idea of having applied research and its outcomes to sharpen the conduct of policy formulation and implementation will continue to suffer so long as citizens are unable to force or compel government to respect the principle of state policy as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution by continuing with ongoing projects. Speaking at the third annual research conference of the Simon Diedong Dombo University of Business and Development Studies, Professor Jampo noted that the habit of discontinuing projects when there was a change in government did not augur well for the development of the country. Rafiq Salam now reports from WA.
The 2023 Research and Development Conference of the Simon Diedong Dombo University of Business and Integrated Development Studies (SDDU-BITS) was held on the theme Bridging the Gap Between Applied Research, Policy Formulation and Implementation. The conference is the third of the university since its attaining autonomous status in 2019 and attended by over 90 participants from different universities and institutions across the country. Senior political science lecturer at the University of Ghana, Professor Ransford Jampo, expressed worry over the plethora of policies that has been formulated by ruling governments but thrown away immediately there is a change of government. Professor Jampo warned that the idea of having applied research and its outcomes shaping the conduct of policy formulation and implementation will continue to suffer as long as citizens are unable to force or compel government to respect the directive principle of state policy as enshrined in the 1992 Constitution.
The first time we had a long-term national vision for Ghana was Vision 2020 in 1996. It was prepared by power changers, it was thrown away. I am saying that the idea of having applied research and its outcomes shaping the conduct of policy, formulation and implementation will continue to suffer so long as we are unable to force or compel government to respect the provisions in the directive principles of state policy, Chapter 6 of the 1992 Constitution, that enjoins government to, as much as possible, continue with projects, programs that may have been initiated by predecessor governments. So just think about it. If a program or a policy is being implemented and it benefited extensively from research, and a new government comes and just throws it away, introduces its own, then where are we going?
Many promises of political leaders in the country have not been fulfilled, thereby having some bearings on the gaps between applied research and policy formulation.
Now, the Executive Secretary of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, Dr. Ishmael Aka, is asking managers of the Northern Electricity Distribution Company to improve their customer service. He spoke to JoyNews in Techiman after a meeting with NEDCo. Anas Abid has more.
Speaking exclusively to JoyNews on the sidelines of a meeting held between national and regional leadership of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission and the Techiman area of the Northern Electricity Distribution Company, Executive Secretary of the PURC, Dr. Ishmael Aka, said the move forms part of the Commission's quest towards enhancing education and engagement amongst utility companies and consumers.
This year, PURC is focusing on three main things: education, engagement, and enforcement. As part of the education and engagement, we are going around meeting utilities. First of all, to look at what they are doing within their catchment area, and also to listen to some of their achievements and the challenges they are facing, and also look at areas we can collaborate to serve the customers better. So today we came to NEDCo Techiman area. So it is more of a collaborative work. It's a friendly visit to engage them and to see how best people in Techiman and in this area can get electricity, reliable and affordable electricity.
Dr. Ishmael Aka, however, admonished NEDCo to work towards improving its customer engagements, particularly during power outages, to enable them meet the needs of their customers.
For us, three things. One is that they should constantly communicate with customers. They should engage them. So there are instances, for some reasons, the light may go off. People should know early so that they can plan. There are certain customers who may have some backlog in terms of bills. I mean, if you have a payment plan, let them know, engage them before they even come and see you. So I think that is a very important one. Another area we want them to focus on is to also have some satellite offices, especially some towns outside Techiman, so that customers do not walk long distance to get to some of their offices to report their issues and others.
Techiman area manager for NEDCo, John Tyree, on his part lauded the move by the PURC and was quick to raise concerns on difficulties NEDCo go through in reaching some of its distribution areas, particularly during revenue mobilization.
We have made them aware of some of our challenges. Operation-wise, we are not doing badly at all. But naturally, there are some hitches that are beyond our, our control. We mentioned some communities where at this time of the year it is difficult to reach. So even when there are faults or complaints from those areas, you naturally cannot just go there. We mentioned places like Kejeji, where it is 56 kilometers away from our service center in Kwame. And revenue mobilization, even to go there at this time to mobilize revenue, is a problem.
In relation to the recent hike in electricity tariffs, Mr. John Tyree urged consumers to be conscious of the situation and work towards minimizing their energy consumption.
What is in your house is what consumes the power. So if you can afford the cost of such equipment or gadgets that are consuming electricity, then it is just fair that you should be able to pay. So that is why we are preaching that consumers should be conscious of the cost of electricity. Money have uses. So if you are not using it for electricity, you use it for something else. If you conserve power, it is good for your life. You have, spare money for discretionary spending.
Reporting for JoyNews, Anas Sabit, Techiman.
Now, some cancer patients at the Komfo Teaching Hospital are compelled to delay or avoid early treatment due to the exorbitant cost. According to experts, late diagnosis and therapy affect access to care for these patients. Clinton Yabwa has more in this report.
Cancer and its related ailments are complex medical conditions that usually require surgeries, radiation therapy, and chemotherapy. These procedures are carried out conjointly with anesthetics, which plays a central role. At the Oncology Directorate of Komfo Teaching Hospital, a high number of patients and their family members are compelled to choose between giving up on their lives and breaking their bank accounts.
We receive good treatment, but our problem is the cost of treatment. Medications cost between 1,000 Ghana cedis and 3,000 Ghana cedis.
This is my child. The expenses I have endured are serious. We are pleading to policymakers. Anesthesiologist at the hospital, Dr. Sophia Anka, indicates the exorbitant cost of cancer treatment compels underprivileged patients to discontinue treatment. She is calling for subsidies for cancer treatments to widen accessibility to comprehensive health care.
The cost of cancer treatment is very expensive. I think their chemotherapy, radiotherapy, all that is very expensive. So if there could be some form of incorporating it into our health insurance to subsidize the prices, I think it will go a long way. Because most of them come report early, but then because of the lack of funds to start treatment or to continue, some start but they are unable to continue, the disease progresses and then they end up with at the end stage where nothing else can be done for them. So I think the cost is the main thing that the policy makers should look at.
Anesthesia plays a crucial role in surgeries, complicated medical procedures, and pain management. In commemoration of World Anesthesia Day 2023, themed Anesthesia and Cancer Care, the Ghana Anesthetics Society checked up on patients to encourage and inspire them to endure their medical journey. Dr. Sophia Ankra highlighted the importance of anesthetics to medical procedures.
We help with managing the chronic pain associated with cancer patients, and then we also give sedation or anesthesia when they have to undergo certain procedures like bone marrow aspirates for the kids with leukemia and other cancers, and if they have to do certain procedures like radiation therapy, like the fluoroscopy and brachytherapy, we need to give them sedation for that. So anesthesia plays a vital role in management of cancer patients. The numbers of doctors practicing anesthesia is increasing. So it's giving us the opportunity to spread our services to all these other specialties that really need our help.
Reporting for JoyNews, Clinton.
In our next story, more than 600 girls in the Esujeman district, traditional area in the Amansie East municipality of the Ashanti region, are being supported with free sanitary pads and reproductive health education. The initiative by the wife of the paramount chief of Esumeja, Asante Manso, seeks to address absenteeism among adolescent girls who skip classes during their menstrual periods. Ohiming Terry of our health desk has more in this report.
Education authorities are worried many adolescent girls shy away from classes due to poor management of menstruation. Girls in their puberty age resort to the use of clothes and other unhygienic means. They lack the funds to buy sanitary wares. Many of these girls, mostly seeing their menses for the first time, choose to stay away from the classroom. James Kwame Amwa is the head teacher of Esuminya RCJHS. His school is among those with the highest number of girls absenting from the class because of menstruation.
Most of our female students find it a challenge to buy a sanitary pad, so it has really become rampant in a sense that during contact hours, their colleagues may be in the classroom learning, whilst for some circumstance the ladies have to go to a change room and other stuff. Sometimes they may not have the sanitary pads where they are tempted to go home to find means to change themselves.
The Oheneye Reproductive Health Support Foundation is attending to the needs of the girls in the area. The foundation, an initiative of the wife of the paramount chief of Esumeja, is not only distributing sanitary pads, but also hitting schools in the traditional area with reproductive health education. With the help of Marie Stopes, the foundation is embarking on a sensitization program to educate girls on their reproductive health. At one of such programs that coincided with the Akweside Festival celebration of the Esumeja Hene, over 100 students received support. Doreen Intrama is the founder of the foundation.
It's very much impacting on their education. Most of the girls will not come to school because they don't have the support. They do not have the materials to keep themselves clean, to stay in the hours, the school hours in the school. That's just the main purpose, to try and support the girls. The boys have not been left behind. Today the boys are receiving shaving sticks to go home as well. It will not be a 9-day wonder. So far we have partners, we have committed individuals, we have most of Nane's friends who are very much interested in this initiative. They are willing to bring forth whatever support they have to make sure that education becomes attractive to the girls who have issues with this embarrassment kind of season that they all experience.
Meanwhile, the foundation has earmarked over 600 students to receive sanitary pads and reproductive health education at no cost. From Esuminya Asante Manso for JoyNews, Ohiming Terry reporting.
Well, that's how we cap off the news, but do stay with us. Up next, the news review with Dr. Kwame Asasante. Up next.